Okay, it's about to start. Welcome to the Weekly Howl, Wife to Wolf's Network's late. I always mess this up. Latest show. I'm your host Roman. I'm here with the gorgeous, the talented Vincent, and tonight we're going to talk about job interviews. Well, we're going to start off talking about like maybe weird job interviews and also weird jobs. I had a very, very kind of strange job at a this peanut factory when I was a kid. And the guy that hired me said basically the interview was like, I'll only hire you if I can pay you in cash. Like, I don't want to give you a paycheck.
Hey,
So I was
so
like, from what I heard, I was like, all right, well, I guess I don't have to pay taxes, right? He's like, yeah, neither do I. So
yeah, so
it
that's what
worked
we
out.
call tax fraud, which yeah, no. So
Well,
props to
fuck
that.
it.
No, dude, no, I've worked some jobs just for cash. Now, no, it's like it's nothing official, but it's just like around town, like family members or family friends calling in favors, just like, hey, can you help me out? Like, and I'll give you X amount of cash for a few hours of work. It's just like, yeah, sure. Dude, it's honestly the best.
It sounds like you were a drug dealer.
Nah, nah, nah. I was a handyman, like
Ah,
doing little
hand
construction projects.
jobs.
Yeah, hand jobs, foot jobs, rim jobs, all the jobs.
No, no, but that was good because like yeah, that was I mean yeah, that was the best. Like when I was yeah, then I was when I was a waiter, fucking you pay you cash and it's you don't you like you have to claim at the end of the night like how much because you have to get some sort of tax about it. But like
Yeah,
you can claim the bare minimum. So yeah, that was awesome. So I just had like handfuls of cash and then, I could buy drugs easily. So
yeah. Now I worked in a restaurant for a time, but I was the host, so the tips didn't go directly to me. But
uh
so it's the waiters who get the tips. But what they did was then, based on all the tips they got that night, they would then do a percentage and give me a cut, as well as give the kitchen staff a cut of tips as well. So it was pretty nice. Only issue was that I would wind up like my shift would have ended. I would have done my end of the night chores of like cleaning the windows, restacking the menus, like all that stuff. But the waiters haven't tipped me out yet, so I'm just sitting around just like, can I get my money, please? But
Well, yeah, that's why we like getting paid in cash, so we didn't have to pay off you motherfuckers because it's just, there was no real record of it. So we just, like, oh no, I didn't, they stiffed me completely if you got cash. But of course, when they pay with a credit card, everything gets taxed and everything gets spread out. So that's why, you stay in the cash business. Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, it's that's why, yeah, it's like the gangster lifestyle. You just never pay taxes.
yeah, no, dude, like they say, cash is king, and that like getting cash feels so good. That's why I'm a big advocate of bank robbery. It's all cash, and you can literally swim in it.
Wait, a big advocate of what?
Bank robbery, it's a
Oh,
lucrative
bank
business.
robbery. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
No, I like that too. You just gotta watch for the pink dye shit that they might put in there.
yeah, yeah. But if,
You
if
got
you
to run
do,
some money.
yeah, if you do your homework and you're set up right, you can disable the die packs remotely.
Oh
So
shit, you've done research. All right.
yeah, the University of Grand Theft Auto.
Oh, oh, that was the mission. That was-
Yeah, yeah. No, one of the heists you set up, you have to kidnap a guy who can disable the die packs of a bank so that you can then later rob the bank.
Okay, so that was the little dot, the guy that you had to like show up on, and he was like, it's like the M for like Mark or whatever, and you got to pick him up, and he can disable the die packs.
Exactly. Just uh,
But
that
yeah,
was
man,
fun.
I loved having but the thing, yeah, as a waiter, like I would have so much cash on me, and I would have to go to the bank constantly just depositing cash. But a lot of it was like ones, so I had like these huge stacks. But it was like, it's all of like $50 all in ones. You feel like a stripper.
Yeah. Well, did you get better tips if you did strip while you were delivering food?
No, not delivering at the restaurant. But I
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, I
no,
did.
but it's like no, but it's like yeah, it's just like hi, and here's your appetizer, and then you give them a little nip slip along the way.
No, I just took Cialis and just came on with like a raging hard on.
Yeah. Oh, like that. No, you. That's when you balance the bread basket on.
Exactly. Yeah, I put it on there and just
Yeah.
oh
I,
my.
now I back when I was in college, I was working a job around campus, and the issue was so the my bank didn't have a branch in the city where I went to school. So I
Uh-huh.
couldn't, and I didn't set up direct deposit, so they just gave me a check. But then the issue was, so since my bank at the time didn't have a branch there, I would basically just take it to the bank that was there, cash the check, and then just walk around with like all this cash on me. And I just had like, or I didn't carry it all at once. Like I'd get back to my room and hide it. So at one point I had the most expensive sock drawer probably in the state.
For
Just
you just like were all cash, like you just
yeah,
uh,
no,
all right.
but it's like it it's kind of good. It's like when you walk around with a big wad of cash on you, like you just feel like it's just like yeah, I got money. Like there's something to be said when you can see the money right in front of you as opposed to just checking your bank statement on your phone. Like
Yeah, it's kind of like a handgun. You just have that
yeah,
shit on. It's just like, damn, I don't even need a penis. But
yeah. No, but no, when you have a fat wad of cash, it makes your penis look bigger.
oh yeah, well you put it next to, like two wads, it's like you just got like, or you got like huge balls. If you have like two, like just like you know,
Yeah. Yeah, no, no,
yeah,
just like origami yourself a condom out of bills.
yeah. And then the thought of that much cash just gives you an erection. So then you just,
Yeah. No, dude, that reminds me of a joke I heard one time. So this guy walked into a tattoo parlor and said, "I want you to tattoo $100 bill on my penis." And the tattoo artist said, "All right, I'll do that, but only if you can give me three good reasons to do so." The man thought for a minute and then he said, "Well, I like to keep my money in my pants. I like to watch my money grow. And I want to see how fast my wife can blow $100." Needless
okay.
to say, he walked out with that new tattoo.
Oh yeah, I heard the second part, the second punchline. I have heard that. Like, want to see my money grow. All right. Well, what is the absolute worst job you ever had? Like,
Uh, I mean that's tough. Like working working in a restaurant was rough at times just because so if it was a busy day and I'm answering the phone, but some people just don't know how to talk on the phone. So, and with all the restaurant noise behind me, I can't hear a thing. And I felt so embarrassed. I'm just constantly like, sorry, could you repeat that? Sorry, could you repeat that? Sorry, could you repeat that? Just all the
mhm.
time. Or, or yeah, or one time, or I used to work as a valet at one point, and then I liked that job because I got to drive some nice cars doing it, but I also got to learn that some people do not clean up their cars.
Ah,
Like,
condom.
uh, so thankfully not that, but I'll tell you two standout stories for this. So we had we had a company policy with the valet where we can't adjust their radio, their seat settings, anything in the car. And this one woman would come in, she was a regular. She was lucky if she was 5 feet tall. Now I'm
Oh,
6'1",
yeah.
and
Yeah.
and if I'm driving her car, like I literally am like T-Rex arms, my head hitting the ceiling, just like sucks. Like I don't get claustrophobic, but I got claustrophobic in that car. But the worst car I drove, and I'll never forget this. It was a Honda Clarity. And I remember every detail about this because it so scarred me. But so for those who don't know, a lot of Hondas out there, underneath the gear shifter is a little compartment between the seats. So like for storage and stuff. The woman who was driving this car was using that as a garbage can, and it was overflowing with used tissues. So like they're spilling out they're spilling out onto the floor, the driver's seat, the passenger seat, passengers like passenger side of the car. And I'm just like I swear I had to like brush some off the driver's seat before I could move the car. So I get it to its parking space, get out. I go back to the podium where some of my coworkers are, and I'm just like, I need to go wash my hands. And so I scrubbed my hands, like my face, anything that like touched a surface in that car did not feel clean the rest of the day. And
Oh,
no, and so the worst part was that was back in 2019. So if that led to COVID-19, I apologize, everyone. That one's on me. Or more specifically, the woman who drove this car.
it's on Vincent.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So I've kind of wondered this, like, just about valets. How do you do? I guess you apply, but do you have to show your skills as a driver in some way, or just have to have like a clean driving record, or
Yeah,
because
it
don't
was
you have to
basically
like you got to be able to drive stick, don't you?
no, so if I didn't they didn't require me to drive stick, but if I drove stick, it was a bonus. So so literally what would happen is if a car came in that was stick shipped, and at the time I didn't know how to drive stick, I'd just call back to my coworkers, hey, which one of you can drive stick? And one of them would step forward and take the car instead. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, so it was just showing no accounts of reckless driving, car accidents, anything like that. Like clean driving record, and they're just like, you're good to go.
And just driver's license. Okay.
Yeah, no, like I mean, I think it kind of helped because I had a family friend who worked for the company, so helped give me some nepotism to get in. But I earned my spot at the same time. I worked hard. I did good. So yeah.
Well, yeah. I guess you can't really do it like I mean, when I worked at restaurants, I mean, I was a server, but also like I was in the kitchen, and I swear, like restaurant. I mean, some of it like I loved cooking was fun. Cleaning is awful. Like that's you have to clean and you have to horrible. But what I always found is like restaurant workers are like the biggest fucking partiers. I guess I don't know if you've seen the movie Waiting, but I worked at restaurants. It was just like that, where it's just like the people that you work with, like you immediately when you're off, you go out and party like with the
Yeah.
same people. And there was times where I was this is back when I was in college, but I was working at this restaurant, and this kid I was working with in the kitchen, he lived like the restaurant was on this road, and the back of the restaurant just up this little hill, and then his like townhouse was right there, just literally like 100 yards away, not even that, like 100 feet away, and just go there during breaks and just get high as fuck.
Yeah.
Just smoke, just like smoke so much fucking weed and just come back to work and just
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Dude, I had a coworker do the same thing. Like he like during his like this was when I was in the restaurant. During his lunch break, he'd just go out to his car, smoke a J, and then come back. And I'm just like, dude, how are you even functioning right now?
Yeah, because I wouldn't smoke like this kid. Yeah, I wouldn't smoke nearly as much as he did, and because I couldn't. Yeah, I had no clue how he did it. He took these huge gravity bongs, and I was like, "How the hell can you work?" And also, like, I'd be freaking paranoid, and also
Yeah.
I was just hungry as shit because obviously when you're cooking, like, you got to cook, and like I just wanted to like fucking like.
Yeah, I feel like getting high and working in a restaurant is a terrible combination because
Yeah.
once those munchies kick in, it's just like next thing you know, you're out of stock of some things.
Well, no, I get in trouble because like I got really high and then like we're cooking and like um cook fucked up this sandwich, right? He made it wrong. So the policy was like you got to put it aside and it needs to be like thrown out. But no one was looking, so I was just like it's still good. It's only like it just messed up like it wasn't like messed up like you put Worcestershire sauce on it or something like that. It was just like it was just like slightly, it was just like it was
Yeah.
pickles instead of like jalapenos or something. And so I was just like looked around and just like took a bite and was like started eating it. He's like, "What the hell are you doing?" It was like the manager was like really serious. Just like, "We can't eat any like any bad tickets." That's what he said because like something is made bad, it's a bad ticket. We don't eat that. And like he took it and like grabbed it out of my face and just threw it away. I
Oh,
was like,
that's such a waste, dude.
why? Yeah, I'm hungry and it's food. It's
Yeah.
like,
No,
no, it's policy. I'm like,
no, I had
why?
a I had a manager get mad at me, but they kind of let it slide because it technically wasn't my fault. So we had a to go order, and we like either we thought they had ordered an orange juice to go as well, or whatever, or they just forgot to grab it. So point was that we had this extra orange juice at the podium, and my coworker just was just like, "Huh, you want this?" I'm just like, "Sure." Like I'll take an orange juice. I don't mind. And I was just like, "What? It's juice. Big deal, right?" Well, apparently juice is a big deal. Now we had a thing of like, "Oh yeah, if you're on shift, you can have all the water, coffee, or soda you want, but juice costs extra. So therefore, so like manager came by and like saw me like sip in the OJ, and she's just like, "What the hell are you doing?" I'm just like, "Oh, it was left here at the podium." So my coworker he just gave it to me, and so she's just like, "Okay, I'll let it slide this time because you didn't know and someone else gave it to you, but typically we don't allow it." But I'm just like, y'all are so like working in the restaurant industry, I realized how nitpicky people could be because I wasn't even at a chain restaurant, but it's just like, oh, like if I was like filling up someone's drink and I was supposed to give them like orange juice or something, they were like very specific about, oh, you have to give them like this much clearance between the top of the glass and stuff. And I'm just like, or we just give them a full glass and they'll probably appreciate it more. Like this is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's crazy because like what I know about restaurants is like soda is really where the big money maker is because and that's the thing like when you work in a restaurant like they'll let you drink all the soda you want for free as an
Yeah,
employee because soda
yeah,
is dirt cheap. It is extremely
exactly.
cheap. And that's how they make so much of the money, especially like fast food restaurants. I've never worked at fast food, but like I know fast food like they make most of their money off of soda
Yeah,
because if you fill up like a just like a whatever it is like 12 ounces that's like maybe 3 cents worth of fucking product that you're paying
yeah.
like too much for.
Well, when you have a soda fountain like that, what it is that it literally like it all comes out as just standard like fizzy water and stuff. And as it goes through the spout, it mixes in the syrup or whatever to turn it
Yeah, the
into
syrup
foam.
and then the carbonated water. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah. And those bags of like the syrup are so cheap. I remember I had to unload those back in the day when I worked at a pizza parlor when I was in high school. Yeah, we had to hook them up. Yeah, and it was oh god. I do kind of miss those days. I miss like some of it was weird because like that and like the restaurant, it was always like there were some of like the coolest people, but some of like the most extreme dicks that I've ever
Yeah,
met. But like so many people like were really, really fun and cool to hang out with. But there were some people that were just the worst human beings that I just want to fucking strangle. But I don't know.
yeah, I feel that.
But but yeah, actually, probably the funnest job I think I ever had, just because I it required little to no work, was lifeguarding. That was a sweet
Yeah,
gig.
I used to work as a lifeguard as well. That was fun because so I would literally like the pool I worked at, we didn't have like the lifeguard chair that you just sit in. So what I would do is if it was lap swim, I'm just walking laps around the pool, watching people and just kind of. But honestly, I'm zoned the fuck out the entire time. But but yeah, nah, actually another fun job because before I was a lifeguard, I was a swim instructor. So I taught kids how to swim. That was a fun job actually, just because like I was a swimmer in high school, so swimming was second nature to me. So it's just like yeah. Oh wait, I just get to hang out in the pool if they're like the because if it was the really low levels, I actually had to be swimming next to them. If it was the higher levels, they would have me standing on the deck and giving them orders.
Mhm.
But I'm just like, no, dude, this is great. Like I'm just hanging around. Like some of my teammates were my coworkers as well, so we're just talking and mess around and just like and it's like yeah, we're working with a bunch of kids. Kids don't care. So the kids like no kid is gonna write you a bad Yelp review.
Very true. Yeah, and I lifeguarded a few places, but one was a country club where they did do swimming lessons, and that was just like the most do nothing job because they just all like were giving swimming lessons. Every kid there knew how to swim, so
Yeah.
you were just there
I
as
mean, they're at a country club. They
window
probably have a
dressing,
pool back.
basically.
If they're at a
But then,
country club, they probably have a pool at their house.
but then I worked at this real redneck place, which was difficult because we had to like check their passes before they came in. Like that was like our policy, and people like would forget their passes, and they would like get really pissed, and like yeah, it was like fucking scream at you. Uh, and their kids really couldn't swim very well,
Yeah,
so you actually I did have to jump in a few times.
yeah. No, I had.
Like
Luckily, I
he's
never.
fine.
Yeah, luckily I never had to jump in when I was lifeguarding. But I remember there was one instance of so for those who don't know, swim lessons usually, at least where I was at, went from level one, where you've never been in water in your life, to level six, where and then once you qualify for level six, then you can start doing like youth swim team and stuff. And I can't remember if I was doing I think I was teaching level four, right? So I'm lower level. And this one mom was so insistent on having her like 10-year-old son um go through like pass level six or like because she wanted him to go to swim team, right? And I'm watching this kid like doing his test, and I'm just like, yo, he should not be in level four. He should be in level three, maybe. Or like this kid does not know how to swim right. And I and so when it came time for report cards, I put that down where I'm just like where it's just like, no, he doesn't pass level four. And the mom like came up to me and she's just like, what do you mean he doesn't pass? I'm just like, he's not ready to swim, but he needs to be on swim team. He will drown on swim team, woman. Like he needs some more practice time.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, I feel like there's just like I guess you like you feel like you know where the irresponsible parents are because we had this like pool where it was a death trap for little kids because of the sides it was like 3 feet, both sides. In the middle, it was like 6 feet. So kids would just walk out and then they would start to drown.
Yeah.
And then you have to like jump in and save them. And like the parents like, what the hell you doing on here? Like, well, why don't you watch your fucking kid, jackass? But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean that was like, but other than that, I mean, we spend most of the time on the deck, like just, I mean, like you got to break for like an hour or an hour and a half, and then you had to go up on the stand. And we were
Yeah.
also smoking weed too in that time, literally on the stand, like in our break bench. We would literally open the pump room to hide and like take grabs and just like smoke. But yeah, sometimes you get too high and get on the stand, and you would just start cracking up at, I don't know, just random things. But it was fun. No one died on my watch. I stand by
That's the
that.
important part.
Yeah, that's right. All right, man. Well, you want to send us out? My computer's
Yeah,
actually about
sure.
to die. So,
All right, so we've had a nice talk reminiscing about past jobs of the those good old starter jobs of restaurant, ballet, swim lessons, all that. And and yeah, well, as we continue to figure out working in the future, I want to thank my co-host Roman here as well as the entire Wife's Wolf team working behind the scenes to bring us this good content. And to you, our viewers, thank you for tuning in as always. And as always, whether you're